Welcome to Essex County College's Community Education Forum TV series. Now here's your host, Mr. Alfred Bundy.
Welcome to Essex County College Community Education Forum. I'm your host, Alfred Bundy, and the Executive Director of Institutional Advancement here at the college. We are honored to have as our very first guest, as we start a new season on the Community Education Forum, the Interim President of Essex County College. It's my pleasure to welcome our leader, Dr. Augustine Boakye. Welcome to the forum.
Thank you, Mr. Bundy.
You know, the college semester just started not that long ago, a couple of weeks ago, around September 1st. Talk to me about how it's been to welcome students back to this campus after a year of them being on remote learning.
I just want to take opportunity to welcome all our college community, the student, faculty, and staff to our fall 2021 semester. It's so interesting and excited to see our students back on campus for almost a year and a half, most of them. And this year, we have been more creative, providing flexible form of modality in terms of our instruction and learning. We have about 60% of our students on campus taking face-to-face classes, and also have others doing virtual education, remote learning, and also hybrid learning.
Why don't we talk about what those different modalities are? Explain.
Mr. Bundy, as you are aware, COVID has created a lot of unnecessary stress and pressure on many people, and we want to make sure people continue their education without much interruption, and therefore we listen to the student and make sure we meet them where they are by providing flexible education.
So when we say hybrid class, what does that mean?
The hybrid is where students could come here and do part of their studies. They could also, at the same time, the same course that they are taking, they can do part either online or virtual. So they do part here on campus and part also from home.
I think it's interesting to note, though, through your leadership, we should share that students graduated last year. We still got through a lot of, challenges. And how many students graduated just not that long ago?
Despite the COVID, our students stayed focused and they did what they were supposed to do. Same with our faculty and staff. We provided the right services to keep them moving. So this year alone, we graduated almost 1,100 students.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Let's talk about the COVID protocols that we have in place now that students are back.
Yeah, the students are here. We're here. COVID is creating a number of obstacles, but we are strong together. I just want to emphasize that. And as we speak at the college, we have made a decision of requiring masks on campus and also COVID vaccination for all students and staff, including faculty. Again, individuals who may receive exemption, sometimes based on medical reasons, will have to do COVID testing on a weekly basis. We are not deviating from the CDC requirement and continue to hold on strong with all the other protocols in terms of screening that we offer when people are coming into our buildings, providing signage, providing PPEs, and again, providing education to our college community. But one more thing that I want to highlight here is that as the college, we're not just focusing on the students and the employees, but also working hand in hand with the county to make sure we serve the community. So Essex County College, our gymnasium, is used as the COVID site for vaccination and testing.
Oh, absolutely. And and I understand it probably will be the site for the booster shots. Am I correct that they're coming around soon? We also have a number of training programs in our Workforce Development Center, which is part of our continuing education program, Training Inc. Talk to us about some of those programs and how these short certificate programs can get people back to work.
So as a college, we always trying to look for the best way of serving the community. And as you know, not everybody will want to do the associate degree program for 2 years or 3 years. And therefore, we've been creative enough to provide some short-term program, including CNA, also what you refer to as CCMA, that is Certified Clinical Medical Assistant Program. We have also PTA. Again, we are introducing with Johnson Control a new certificate, which we refer to as CAMP TIA A+ certificate.
Now, what is that?
And this is just computer-based program that we're going to offer to
But they're going to get like a certification in IT, am I correct?
Yes.
And they're going to have the...
And more importantly, prepare the student, the graduate, to be able to handle HVAC issues. So that is very important. Other than the training in programs, we also have real estate licensing program. We have also pharmacy technician program. And basically, we also provide basic literacy to individuals who are coming in. They need second language. They just want to be able to be part of the system. So we open the door for them too as well.
Now, of course, to be able to take physical therapy training, the real estate license in our workforce development, and of course, just to go to college here, it costs money. What's the college do to provide financial aid or to assist these students with dollars to go to college?
It is very interesting, and with the support of our current governor, Governor Phil Murphy, and all the leaders, now coming to the college, there are a lot of financial opportunities that I want to highlight. One of them that Governor Murphy led recently is referred to as Community College Opportunity Grant, CCOG, which most of our students have already benefited from. The process is you need to apply to the college, and also your financial aid paperwork has to be completed. Then if your family is earning less than 65,000.
Hold on, let's get that. Less than 65,000. I mean, a lot of people can go to college. Less than 65,000.
I can assure you. So many of our students actually will qualify for this. Apart from that, we have EOF funds to support our students. We also have other grants, especially during the COVID. We have applied for a number of COVID funds that we're using to support our students. And finally, there are other scholarships. We're working with different agencies to make sure our students get the necessary funds to come to college. So anybody who wants to come to college, especially Essex County College, be assured that in one way or the other, you'll be supported financially.
Oh, that's a good, and certainly you have one of the largest EOF programs in any county college in New Jersey, am I right?
That's right.
That's absolutely right. Speaking of Governor Murphy, not that long ago, about a few days ago actually for us, the governor joined our county executive at a very special groundbreaking experience up in West Caldwell. Talk to us about what happened and what that event was all about.
So Governor Murphy was here on September 10th together with our county executive, Mr. Joseph DeVincenzo, and a number of lawmakers and county leaders.
And our trustees.
And our trustees, you're right. I just want to start with the trustees, saying that I really thank them and our college community, our staff, and faculty and our students for coming together to do assessment of our main campus and West Essex campus, and to see the need to renovate where needed and to put new buildings where needed. We had been at the western part of the county for over 40 years. And unfortunately, the existing building we've been using have been almost 80 years. It was originally designed to be elementary school. But as at now, we needed a new building. But what role did the county executive and the governor played in this process? I just want to say that they played a leading role because they shared their vision about education, both of them, how they want people to start from K through 12 and move on directly to the college or higher education. They did not just share their visions, they also provide advice to us how we should go about this process and this project, and finally provided financial support. The county is giving us $10 million.
Wow.
And the state is also giving us $10 million to support this project.
And that's the new campus in West Caldwell. Now, how soon do we suggest, you think it'll be before we can actually open that new campus?
We're anticipating to finish this between a year and 2 years, maybe less than 2 years.
Less than 2 years, okay, all right, but that's exciting stuff. We've been at West Caldwell for a long time, as I know, and for 40 years, so we're gonna have a new building at West Caldwell soon. In the meantime, where are our students going to school at in West Caldwell during the interim?
It's great to share that even though we're going to have a major disruption during the construction process, we are working together with our students to make sure they continue the education. They have multiple options to come to the main campus, to work with us virtually or remotely. And most importantly, we've arranged with Essex County School of Technology, West Caldwell High School, to use their space to offer in-person classes, especially in the evenings.
In the evening, you have in-person classes for those up in the West Caldwell who do not take classes virtually. So we still have a presence in West Caldwell during this period. We're running out of time, Dr. Boakye, and I know you're very busy, and we need to probably move you along. But before you go, would you share with us some of your thoughts, your visions, your ideas for this college moving forward under your leadership?
I just want to say that even though we have multiple challenges, I see that there are a lot of opportunities for this college. And my goal that within the next few years, Essex County College becomes a school of first choice to the community by emphasizing on programs that are referred to as in-demand career programs. Including the short-term programs, as we've already said, in the health sector.
Which will help them learn to get back to work, to get them back to those short-term workforce development programs.
So these programs I'm referring to in the health area, computer science and technology, digital marketing, logistics, these programs are programs I refer to as learning to employment programs.
I can't let you go because one of the things you got to talk about real quick, and we're out of time, is we have wraparound services here. So just mention a few of them real quick. I know we give students financial aid, but what other type of support do we provide students while they're here?
So the opportunity that we have is to make sure not to just provide the programs, but to make sure we meet them where they are. We serve unique population, and there are multiple things we need to do to make sure that they come in, they stay and graduate. And some of the wraparound services we have in place, I've already mentioned the financial part, but we also have tutoring service for our students, food pantry for our students. Recently, the board approved for us to hire mentors and advisors across the academic divisions. So the students will be supported right from day one through to when they graduate. Apart from that, we also have different smaller clubs for students to feel like, hey, I'm networking, I'm part of a team. In fact, when we started this semester, all our clubs are energized, leading by the SGA and even our alumni. So we have all these smaller groups to allow students to network and feel like, look, I'm part of a family and I'm ready to stay and graduate with Essex County College certificate or degree.
Dr. Boakye, I can't thank you enough for just finding a few minutes to come talk to us and share with us all that you're doing. We want to applaud you and continue to tell you that we're certainly delighted that you're here leading us during a very challenging and different time, but you're doing a great job. We got to go, but don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back with more of the Community Education Forum. Stay with us.
Essex County College kickstarted my career. The professors were a perfect fit and they challenged me. And today, I work as a software engineer. Essex County College was central to my success. They had my back. Who has yours? Be sure to check out Essex County College today. Your career begins here. You may qualify to attend college tuition free. Visit essex.edu.
Welcome back to the Community Education Forum. I'm your host, Alfred Bundy. Now joining me on the forum is an outstanding student from Newark, New Jersey, and she's also the president of the Student Government Association here at the college. Please welcome our very special guest, Ms. Jessica Clark. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Bundy. Thank you for having me today.
I wanted to ask you, what your motivation, what was your thinking to even want to become the president of the Student Government Association? Tell me.
Well, my passion has always been to advocate for students. And back in high school, I actually ran for the student council president and won unanimously. And I was able to take that passion and bring it into Essex County College. And when I saw that there was a need for change, in order for me to be a part of the solution, I had to bring that voice. And bringing that voice meant I had to be a part of a team. And that team was Student Government Association.
Do you see politics being part of your future, or is this just an academic experience?
No, and as I say, I love being able to advocate for people. Unfortunately, there are students out there, people out there who do not have that voice, and they need someone to be able to speak for them. And if I need to be that person, then that's what I want to do.
Let's kind of step back for a second. I know COVID is so prevalent in all that we do. What's it been like being a student during this pandemic, and what are students telling you it's been like to deal with remote instruction, that type of thing?
Well, back when COVID hit in March, it was devastating to us because we were supposed to be on campus. So this semester is actually my first physical semester on campus, and I know it is for a lot of students. I think the most prevalent thing is figuring out who's vaccinated and who's not. And unfortunately, we can't ask. It's part of HIPAA law, which we understand. So it's just about giving them the information, and that's what student government is doing. We have a very informal way of letting the students know, these are the mask mandates, these are the CDC guidelines, this is the reopening plan that Essex County has. And we have to follow this because at the end of the day, we have families to go home to. And we're not just here we come in, we have our college life, but at the end of the day, we have to protect ourselves. And with these tools, we're able to do that.
Tell me what it's been like as far as virtual instruction or virtual classes. What's that?
Virtual classes has been very interesting. I'm an art major, so drawing from home and then uploading my work, it's a different aspect. It's a different, you're in the solitude of your own home. You don't have that instructional from the professor to say, this is what you need to do, because you're on a camera. So it's hard when you have 20 of the students in the classroom all asking for help.
Are you able to get feedback?
You are able to get feedback, but when it comes to once you upload your work, so it was kind of like we drew, we pointed our camera, this is what we're doing, we uploaded our work, we were able to get feedback, but I tell you, our professors in that department were tremendous. Professor Smith, Professor Wager, Professor Lee, they did such an amazing job in making sure that we had the necessary tools as art majors to be able to get to where we are today. And
I'm sure they're very glad to hear that, and so am I. Let me find out who is on your executive team. Why don't you just mention the other people working with you?
Well, Nicholas Mendez is my vice president. He came in as treasurer. So when the elections began, he ran for vice presidency since I ran for presidency, because I was vice president these past 3 semesters. And then I came over as president interim. So I had 2 positions last semester. And then when the new elections came up, so I ran for presidency and won. Yolanda Brown is actually our Senator of Community Relations. She deals with all of our social media aspects and makes sure that the students have the proper information, not only for student government, but Essex County events all at once. Sarah Del Sol is actually our secretary. She makes sure that our minutes are proper and makes sure that any events that we have going on, we're staying on top of all our agendas. And last but not least, we have Kadeja Denford, who is our Senator of Grievance. So she is the person that the students can go to if they have any issues as far as the school policies counseling, financial aid, or anything that has to do with needing help. That's what we're here for.
Sounds like you got a great team.
Yes.
Give me maybe 2 or 3 goals or objectives that you have that you want to make sure you achieve in the next year running this organization.
Well, this semester alone, we have 3 initiatives that SGA is working on. Our first initiative is Rock the Vote. Rock the Vote is we are sitting here and putting foot to floor with the registering students to make sure that we meet the October 12th deadline for students to be registered to be able to vote for the primary in November.
Awesome.
So right now what we're doing is during Welcome Week, student orientation, and Club Week that we'd had these last couple of days, we actually were able to register 50 ECC students that did not know that they could or that were eligible to be able to vote. We are also working with Dean Slade next week, and we're with her sorority, and we're having another voter registration coming in next week. So we're doing that as well. Our second initiative that we're working on this fall is basically it's a student government care for COVID, where it's just a very informal way of letting the students know what does the reopening plan mean? What are the CDC guidelines? Why do we have the mask mandates? Where do we upload our vaccination cards? And for the students that aren't vaccinated, what are we expecting from them? Because our gymnasium is a testing site and a vaccination site, we're letting them know this is where you need to go to be able to get the tools so you can feel comfortable in coming back to campus. And last but not least, we have a Help for Haiti. Because of the devastation that Haiti had in August, we're working with New Jersey for Haiti organization, where we're going to start collecting donations to run through the organization to have the supply shipped back to Haiti.
I know when we heard you speak at the Board of Trustees meeting recently, we were so pleased to hear about the work you're doing in Haiti. And then let me just say to you, what you share with your fellow students will probably be much more important, and they will listen more to you and your leadership related to dealing with the COVID protocols than anything the administration can do. So your advocacy and your work there, I can't say enough about this. We thank you for that. We don't have a lot of time left, but briefly, just talk to me a little bit about what your own personal plan is. Where are you going to be in 5 years from now? What are you going to be doing? I know you got something exciting happening very soon in your life.
Yes, well, within the next couple of weeks, I am getting married. So with that being said,
Congratulations.
Thank you. As an artist, I have 2 goals. My first goal is I would like to either work for, open, or construct a nonprofit organization to bring back art into the community. We have a lot of our students, a lot of children that don't have the art program in their elementary school. So I want to see and move in that direction and bringing that back into the community. So if that means opening up a shop to where students and kids can come in and just paint and love art and be creative, because that's the kind of personality I have. I love being able to sit here and see them shine through their artwork. My second goal is I want to be an advocate, not just for the students, but for people in general. As a Latina, as a Hispanic student, I think it's important that we have our voices heard within the community.
Well, I'm sure you're going to reach all those goals. I'm sure you're going to do great things. You've already doing great things. I want to tell you how wonderful you were to help us with our groundbreaking ceremonies up in West Colwood. You did a great job with all our trustees and the elected officials and our governor. We got to go. But hey, we'll have you back. We'll talk some more later. Listen, thank you, Jessica. Please don't go anywhere. We want you to check out our alumni corner that features Miss Twinkle Taylor. Essex County College made a difference in Twinkle's life, and she's now making a difference in the world. Check this out. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Essex County College Community Education Forum. I'm your host, Alfred Bundy. Now let's hear from one of Newark's dynamic people, one of the people who has really done a lot to lift this town through her work and through her leadership. Please welcome the CEO of Leadership Newark, Miss Celia King. Welcome to the forum.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
I don't know if enough people know about what's been going on for a long time. There's leadership programs all over the nation, actually. But let's talk about how you created and what's been developed here for Leadership Newark. A little bit about its background.
So yes, there are a lot of leadership programs as you described, but there's none in New Jersey quite like Leadership Newark. Why do I say that? Leadership Newark was designed to deal specifically with public policy issues. So it's a leadership development program to focus on issues that impact the community. And in addition to that, we expect the people who are engaged with the program to give back to the community. So after the first year of the program focusing on public policies, they move into a second year where they actually do projects for nonprofits in the community.
Now, how do you select people to get in this program?
They are nominated by people who are alumni or who are other community leaders and influencers, and they also can self-nominate. But they have to live, work, or I say play in Newark,
Okay.
Meaning if they go to church or if their company is elsewhere but services Newark residents or the greater Essex County, then they would be eligible for the program.
Now, talk about public policy. Talk about some of the issues that they've looked at or gotten involved with, and some of the things that you think that have had some impact in changing public policy in this area.
So we really deal with whatever may be going on currently. So whatever may be trending and how they can influence change and or change policy or influence the policy makers. So that's who we bring to speak with them,
Great.
either as keynoters or as part of a panel. So part of it is educational because now you're learning about the issue in depth. And another part of it is what is the solution that you think may have it improve things in a community. It may be related to criminal justice. It may be related to education. It may be related to environmental issues. But there's the experiential model that we look at. So they will not only speak to the policymakers and or lawmakers, but they will also go to the setting. Now, of course, during the pandemic, none of us were going anywhere, right? So how do we bring that experiential piece? So then we deal with case studies.
Wow.
And so the case studies try and bring to life some of the real issues that we face.
What were some of the case studies you looked at during this pandemic? One or two.
It's ethical issues, perhaps, I would say. That's an area that we look at that's not direct public policy, but every policy deals with ethical dilemmas. So the ethical dilemmas that we touched upon were health related and dealing with the mandate of vaccines, for example. That's very current. And what did they think was the best way in which to manage that as people were going back to school, as people were going back into the workforce? What are your thoughts? And should it be mandated? Should it not? So they, as a collective, as this think tank, actually come up with solutions. And we share the solutions with the people who are able to put things in place.
Right, to make real things happen. Now I know you've had some kind of unique graduates and interesting people. Share with us one or two examples of things that you think you've contributed that you're most proud of here through Leadership Newark.
Oh my goodness. So my cohort is, they are leaders in their own right.
That's true.
So who we accept to the program, we describe as emerging or established leaders. We also see them as individuals who are just really moving up the ladder. So we can look at Eric Pennington right now, who is the business administrator in the city of Newark. He was within our first class of Leadership Newark.
Oh, I didn't know that. The
2000.
first class?
The very
Call
first
Eric
class.
and talk to Eric. Helped us out here at the college so much. I talk to Eric all the time.
But see, so that's an example of somebody who has been doing amazing work, having an impact on the community, because as the business administrator, he is touching everything in this city, moving forward the agenda of the administration. And that is something that I would say that we as the leadership at Leadership Newark, my board and myself, would be very proud of. And there are many examples.
Give me one or two others if you can real quick.
We have Judge Grant,
Glenn Grant?
Well, his wife. Why would you jump to the man?
You know what? That's my fault. How could I?
That's
and
right.
She will fuss with me.
That's right, and she should.
You know how she is.
And she should. We also have, if we step outside of politics, we have some very strong legal minds as well. We have a number of lawyers who are with firms or their own firm and have done wonderful things to help the city, help people in the city, and the work that they do.
I wanted people to know about this dynamic program. How old is the program, and what's the future look like? What are your plans moving forward?
So the program is 24 years old. We're in our 24th year, which is amazing. And the network is huge. And where we were headed, and will still continue to head in that direction as soon as things lighten up, but we were going global. And that's a big thing for us. Why? Because we are now having some of our alumni running into each other in other countries because they have relocated and they're doing work there, or they're working internationally for some reason, and that is amazing.
Now, when you tell me how old it is, you know that affects me, because you know
You
that
were
I
there
played a
from the
role
beginning.
from leadership New Jersey, helped kind of set up leadership Newark. So it was really 24 or just 10? Let's get the years.
I'd like to say 10.
All right, so-
However, we have sustaining time
Isn't
in
that
this
amazing?
city.
Isn't
Yes.
that amazing? Celia, before we go, are leaders created? Are they born? How do you describe what makes a leader and what it takes?
Well, I do think leaders are born, but I also think that there's room for people to grow into a leadership role. Yes.
Well, I can't thank you enough for spending some time with us here at the Forum. Certainly, you've been a friend and a supporter of Essex County College, and that means a lot. And hopefully,
Yes.
we're going to be doing some projects
We absolutely will be.
through your
Yes.
interns with that. Listen, we got to go, but I want to thank you, Celia King from Leadership Newark, for being with us. And I want to thank you all for watching Essex County College's Community Education Forum. For more information on Essex County College, please visit our website at essex.edu. And if you'd like to see more of the Community Education Forum, check us out on YouTube or on Facebook. I'm your host, Alfred Bundy, and we'll see you next time.
You've been watching Essex County College's Community Education Forum. For more information on Essex County College, visit essex.edu. To catch any of our Community Education Forum shows, check out Facebook or YouTube. We'll see you next time.